Becoming old for the Braves, and they've been bounced out, like I said, for the first round 4 years straight. The last 2 times to the Astros.
Yeah, no need to win your pick.
Now with the story, exactly, a story with a happier ending. The Auburn football team could sing Old MacDonald. I figured you probably wrote that.
Yes,
had
I did.
a farm,
For
and that
you,
would
Mr.
be only
McDonald.
half the story.
The rest of the story is during the Tigers' off week, many of them made a special visit to Storybook Farm. It's a magical place where children with mental and physical illnesses feel they have no limits. Don Haas has that story.
The Auburn Tigers we see on Saturdays are much different people when the pads come off and kids arrive on the scene.
Oh, you got it. You got it. Oh, you got it.
Many of the players spent their bye week at Storybook Farm in Opelika, a chance to meet some of their young, underprivileged, and disadvantaged fans. Also a great chance to give back to the community.
One of the great things about playing football for Auburn is the chance we get to be able to come to the community and be able to see faces and see some of the reasons why we play the game of football. Be able to come out and get back to kids that would love to be in our shoes.
I was here at the last time they had Storybook Farm. It was just something I wanted to get involved with, and I've been back again for the second time. Some of these kids, they need to see positive influence, and that's what we're here to do.
Russell, don't you hurt him. He's got to play now.
But don't think the kids are the only ones who get something out of the Tigers' annual visit. For the players, it's an eye-opening experience that makes them count their blessings.
Oh, yeah, it gave us a great feeling inside because they let us know that we're blessed, to go out and play football every day, because everybody don't have the opportunities that we do. And so right now, we just want to thank God for that.
There's nothing really that probably anybody on the team enjoys doing more than just coming out here and brightening the lives of some of these youngsters. And, it's just fun to be able to give back. We got an off week, so we've got a little more time on our hands. And, we're having a great time.
We've got you covered in Opelika. Don Haas, NBC 13 Sports.
All right, when Sports Extra Sunday continues, so many are trying to put the hammer to one of the Alabama Crimson Tide's traditions. More on the controversy in T-Town when we come back.
In these busy lives of ours, sometimes it's nice to just relax and enjoy the moment, to slow down a bit and savor the simple things in life, like good friends and great food. So why not treat someone you love to a 2-piece chicken and biscuit today, just $2.69. Jack's, bringing folks together since 1960.
If you've tried to win your Social Security disability benefits through your efforts alone and been turned down, don't give up.
Call 1-866-4-RD-PITS. Call toll-free 1-866-4-RD-PITS.
We've spent years learning how to win cases just like yours. We'll put our skill and experience to work for you, and we'll work long and hard in helping you to win.
Call toll-free 1-866-4-RD-PITS.
Let me help you get the disability benefits you deserve.
Great food. The Birmingham Racecourse. Great fun. The Birmingham Racecourse. Big excitement. The Birmingham Racecourse. Go, go! Great food. Great fun. Big excitement. The Birmingham Racecourse. Get lucky tonight.
Werewolves rising from their tombs, witches on their magic brooms. I'm Wendy Garner from NBC 13 with some of the spookiest goblins I've ever seen. Why? Because it's time for Boo at the Zoo. So wear your creepiest costume and bring a container too. There will be trick-or-treating and plenty more to do. We hope to see you one of these nights. We'll scare up some fun, so please don't fright. NBC 13 and the Birmingham Zoo, we're partners.
It's the fastest growing crime in America today, identity theft, and NBC 13 is leading the fight to help protect you.
Our first NBC 13 Shred-a-thon was such a huge success. We're doing it again.
Simply bring your personal documents to Sam's Club on John Hawkins Parkway on Saturday, October 15th from 8 a.m. to noon.
We'll shred them and properly dispose of them, free of charge to you.
So protect your identity and shred it October the 15th.
NBC 13, partners in a caring community.
On Friday, Benjamin Russell at Briarwood, both teams 5-1 going into it. First quarter here, Briarwood with the ball. It's a run reverse. Grant Luke, number 10, he'll end up with the ball and end up taking it 3 yards in for the score. Nice one on that one. We'll move to the second quarter. It's going to be what they call a flea flicker from Burnett Trotter to number 12, Bo Walters, who then throws it to none other, Grant Luke. Briarwood over Benjamin Russell, 34-20. Briarwood's record now 6-1. Russell is 5-2. Well, we are.
And now the Arby's Academic Athlete of the Week.
Well, we're all about sports here on Sports Extra, but we know there's more to players than the numbers on their jerseys. Numbers also count in the classroom. We like to salute athletes who perform well on game nights and on school days. This week's Academic Athlete of the Week is Drew Brandenburg of Pelham High School. Senior at Pelham High School who wears the number 71. But there's more to Drew Brandenburg than playing right guard every Friday. He's got smarts, a 3.6 GPA, and a doozy of a class load.
AP physics class right now and honors pre-cal going into AP pre-cal.
He's aiming high, and he should. He's pretty good at science.
Last year when I started physics class, I was just really good at it, and that's what engineers do, and I just realized, maybe I could be an engineer one day.
So what's his secret to good grades?
I listen in class, and I interpret what teachers say really well, and I have really good relationships with all my teachers, and I just learn better that way.
But this senior also knows how to have fun.
Hang out with my friends and watch college football. That's, you're bored all year until college football comes on.
Drew is receiving letters from colleges to play football, but he has a couple of dream schools in mind.
I would love to play football for Vanderbilt or Georgia Tech, or, right now I'm just working on getting my GPA up. It shocks a lot of people, but, the average football player, you wouldn't realize is actually smarter than average.
Your mother Donna isn't shocked of how smart you are, and neither are we. Drew Brandenburg of Pelham. He's NBC 13's Academic Athlete of the Week. And we want to hear from you. If you know of an athlete who does well on and off the field, well, send us an email. The student can play any sport, but it has to be on the varsity level, and their GPA has to be at least a 3.0. Send your Academic Athlete of the Week suggestions to sports@NBC13.com. Well, the classic East versus West matchup in the U.S. Army All-American Bowl will be televised right here on NBC in January. The game features 80 top prep football student athletes from across the country. No secret, Huffman offensive lineman Andre Smith was up to be selected among the elite high schoolers. Most have him ranked as the #1 prospect regardless of position, but he is listed as the #1 lineman in the nation. Also representing Alabama, Bart Eddings. He's a 6'3", 260-pound defensive tackle from Trinity Presbyterian in Montgomery. That game is going to be played, of course, in San Antonio at the Alamo Dome in January.
All right, we're going to take you back on campus now. For many, cheering at the Alabama games, well, that's a way of life. But what they cheer is just as much a tradition. But now, one of those traditions under the gun. NBC 13's Jennifer Hale takes a look at the target, Rammer Jammer.
Rammer Jammer, yellow Rammer Jammer, hell Alabama.
For decades, some people have taken issue with what they say is a curse word in the chant Rammer Jammer. The cheer is now therefore reserved for after decisive Bama victories.
We're gonna beat the hell out of you.
But just before Bama played the University of Southern Miss this year, they benched the popular cheer. Katrina had just rolled through Mississippi, and Bama's athletic department wanted to be as hospitable as possible.
Just welcome them just as much as we could here on campus because they had really been through a whole lot.
That kicked off a new firestorm. Associate music professor Marvin Johnson says, quote, if the Rammer Jammer cheer is off color and it must be censored most of the time, then surely it is questionable all the time. As you might imagine, most students are on the other side of the field on this one.
We need to have a very intimidating stadium. We want our stadium to be the most intimidating SEC.
It's been like a tradition here for many years, and it gets everybody, it gets the fans and the players pumped up for the game. So,
Professor Johnson's answer to that argument, quote, we just beat the hell out of you, is a crude, shouted boast that demeans those who utter it far more than its targets. I say that it is not a tradition at all, but merely a very bad habit. Greenwell says the cheer is not meant to be unsportsmanlike. It simply aims to brag on a big win. She's betting Rammer Jammer will weather this latest storm just fine.
It's always been under criticism by certain people, and I think the Rammer Jammer cheer is here to stay.
Bama student government recently passed a resolution in favor of keeping the Rammer Jammer cheer around, but actually that's a decision that's solely up to UA administrators and the athletic department. But Greenwell says students need not worry. There's no proposed play to bench the Rammer Jammer cheer again anytime soon. We've got you covered in Tuscaloosa. Jennifer Hale, NBC 13 News.
All right, thanks a lot, Jennifer. I've heard worse, actually, and you'll probably hear worse from Dale Earnhardt Jr. wanting this chase thing to be over. We'll give you details on today's race, the Banquet 400 that's coming at you after the break. You're watching The X.
It's the fastest growing crime in America today, identity theft, and NBC 13 is leading the fight to help protect you.
Our first NBC 13 Shred-a-thon was such a huge success. We're doing it again.
Simply bring your personal documents to Sam's Club on John Hawkins Parkway on Saturday, October 15th from 8 a.m. to noon.
We'll shred them and properly dispose of them, free of charge to you.
So protect your identity and shred it October the 15th.
NBC 13, partners in a caring community.
NBC 13's Academic Athlete of the Week is brought to you by Arby's.
If you missed Friday Night Football Fever Live on NBC 13, don't worry. Simply log on to NBC13.com to catch all of the action online. Brought to you by Barber's Dairy. Barber's Dairy, a proud sponsor of NBC 13's Friday Night Football Fever.
Sunrise shining through my window, another day coming on, here we go. Alabama's awake and that's all right. Standing on the edge of my senses, feeling need to swing for the fences, not waste a moment in this life. Right now while there's time.
NBC 13.
Live for today.
Live for today. NBC 13.
Feeling it today.
Live for today.
If you have an investigative story idea or tip, we want to hear from you. Please call the NBC 13 investigators at 558-7373 or log on to NBC13.com.
Welcome back. NASCAR rolling into Kansas Speedway for the Banquet 400. Early on, the season, if the season was over tomorrow, it wouldn't be too soon for Little E. He and Brandon Ash got tangled up. Ryan Newman trying to sneak past. He gets caught up as well. Newman would finish 23rd, Earnhardt 34th. Now, see that arrow pointing to Martin Martin? Well, he moved up 9 spots on his pit stop and used the caution to take the lead. And while the competition was a little stiff, Martin guided the Viagra car to the winner's circle. A big win for him in the chase for the Cup. Here we go. Let's listen to it.
You know, the fans have made this the best